Bonjour, welcome back to a new session of Learning French with Merlyn. I promised you 3 things: pronunciation, vocabulary building, and trust me, you'll have fun. To make it more interesting, I'll be sharing a few snippets of my life in France and about the French culture. So let's begin. In our last session, we went from alphabets A to H. And in this one, we'll be going forward from I to Q. I, the letter I in English, is called E in French. There's a high chance of us getting confused. Well, this is a real incident which happened. So there was a guy who went to a railway station, and in France, in some stations, they actually write alphabets instead of numbers. So in this particular station, that was the case. And he took a ticket and he asked the guy which platform. And that person told him E. So this guy ran to E with all his luggage. And when he reached there, stood there for some time, and that's when he realized that there was something wrong. Yeah? The train passed through platform E. E in French. And he stood in platform E. E in English. So that confusion exists. Okay, so let's not forget that I, the English letter I in French is E. Okay, so let's hope you don't get lost and you don't, miss your train because of a wrong platform you're on. E means I. So E. Let's go to the word image, image, image. Now the letter J. J is pronounced as J, J. So to make things easy, the English letter E is pronounced as E. The English letter I is pronounced as E. Now in our last class, we saw that the English letter G is pronounced as J, which is somewhat like J but with a little bit of Z, right? Got it. Now the English letter J is pronounced as J. J is like G but with some amount of Z, right? Initially it looks confusing, but this, as it goes, it will get easier, okay? So J is pronounced as J, J. J pour jardin, jardin. Again, I'm not saying jardin. That's because IN is again pronounced as un. Jardin. Jour, jour. Now jour, remember this, we'll be using this a lot. K. K pour kiwi, the fruit kiwi. L. L pour lampe, lampe. M. M. Here we're going to learn quite a few words because all these words will be used very soon and will be used very commonly. So listen to these words and let's try to learn them slowly. We learned 4 words and all of them are equally used in French. Okay? So we go with the first one, monsieur. Monsieur. Monsieur is like sir or Mr. in English. Mr. Now, in English, how do you write? How do you abbreviate it and write? If I need to say Mr. Thomas or Mr. John, it'll be MR, right? MR. But in French, you'll just put an M. M for monsieur. Monsieur. Next one is madame. Madame is something you use for a married woman, a lady. You address a married woman or a lady as madame. And when you abbreviate it, you will write MME. MME. Madame. Okay? So now you would ask me, why did you mention married woman? Is there something else for an unmarried woman? There is. In English, it's Miss, right? In French, it's Mademoiselle. Seems too long for a very short thing in English? Well, there are some things like that. I will explain that to you later. So when you're talking about a girl child or a young woman who is not married, you will address them as Mademoiselle. Now look, it says there's no W or anything that makes you want to say the sound wa, right? If you read it normally, it's Mademoiselle. But why am I saying Mademoiselle? Another thing in French is OI is not pronounced as OI, it's pronounced as OA. OA. So that's why it's Mademoiselle. Mademoiselle. And how do you write it in abbreviation? MLLE. Okay. These are three important things you'll use all the time. Another very important thing, you'll hear me say this throughout in every video probably, is merci. Merci. Merci means thank you. You would have probably heard these words before because they are very commonly used in any kind of Agatha Christie novels. That is where you would have heard it probably, but I'm just making sure you know that these words are very, very used in French. Let's go to the next one. N. N pour nuit. Nuit. Nuit means night. Now also keep this word in mind. In our session where we'll be discussing greetings, we'll use these words a lot. And the next one I have is non. Now you should be able to say yes and no in any language, right? So that's why we have no here. No. Sounds like English, right? But in English it's no. And I'm saying no. Why is that? Because there's an O-N. O-N is pronounced as on. So it's no. Next alphabet, O. Orange. Again, A-N is pronounced as on, which is why it's orange and not orange. Orange. And this is a word you would have heard a lot if you actually watched Mr. Bean's Holidays. Oui. He survived in France just with this word. So, oui is one important word you need to know. Oui. Oui means yes. Pain. Here we'll be learning two words which sound very similar but have drastically different meanings. If you eat one, you would survive. If you eat the other one, you would die. So that's how different the meanings are. Let's look at it. Poisson. Poisson. You hear the sound S, right? Also you see OI. I'm pronouncing it as wa. So it's not Poisson, it's Poisson. The next one is Poisson. The sound Z and a single S. Poisson. Poisson is a safe one. You love it, you can eat it. Poisson is the dangerous one. So keep that in mind. Poisson and Poison. Next alphabet is Q. Q in French is Q. Q. Q pour question. Question. Now you see, it's the same spelling. It's written in the same way like in English, but you'll pronounce it differently. Question. Well, that's it for today. I hope you had fun and you learned something new. Let's revise what we studied today before we wind up the session. So, we'll start by alphabets from E to Q. You can repeat after me. There'll be a small gap for you to repeat. E, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q. That's it. Let's look at the words now that we learned today. Image, jardin, jour, kiwi, lampe, and the very important ones here, monsieur, monsieur, madame, mademoiselle, merci, nuit, non, orange, oui, poisson, poison, question, Let's continue learning like this. I hope this is interesting and I hope you're having fun since you've learned so many words at one go. And let's meet in the next session where I'll be talking about alphabets R to Z. And with that, we'll wind up with the alphabets. Alright, merci and à bientôt. Now the last word, last minute, last word. So this à bientôt means see you soon. So merci and à bientôt.